baby beard.
Waited for you, Fry.
This episode traumatized me as a young person.
My head is hurting again. Where's my firstborn son?
God does not care about me masturbating.
Your singing is bad and you should feel bad. First get out into bus, you're like, oh no! Yeah. I don't like myself becoming the protagonist of this podcast. You've been in
Yeah, because you haven't learned anything.
Podcast. Yes, hello everyone, and welcome.
Sean's just come back from a roller coaster, apparently.
Or a roller derby.
He has, and he's got off the roller coaster derby just in time for Shut Up and Take My Podcast, the Futurama podcast that pits episode against episode in bloody glorious gauntlet combat for your entertainment.
Ooh, a synonym, I like it.
Bit of Phil twist on it.
Oh yeah, why not?
Spice, a synonym.
I may steal it.
You cannot. I'm joined here by Ellen.
I'm both kinds of revolting.
And by Sean.
Part of the Dangus Wang podcast that ever dang wanged.
And we're joined here by
Phil.
I hope that picked up.
If not, fill in your blank.
Listeners at home who have a souffle, please let us know if it stayed stable throughout all of our intro.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever had a souffle before.
I have.
No.
Delicious.
Yeah, I've had a souffle, yeah.
Yeah, they're not that fragile as cartoons would have you believe.
Yes. All TV is, you look at a souffle and it collapses.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
It's
you just have to eat them pretty quick.
Yeah,
generally,
it's just like the same as look, I grew up watching anime with the Western subtitles, so it shocked me that rice cakes are not donuts.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
Or cheeseburgers.
Yeah.
So it's a very
license.
special episode, apparently.
Oh.
Futurama would have you believe.
Yes, it is Futurama's 100th episode, titled "The Mutants Are Revolting."
Yes.
Which is season 6, episode 12. It's like a collaborative introduction of the episode today.
It's working
It's
well.
also a lovely pun.
Yes, it's the peasants. The peasants are revolting.
Yes, and they're revolting in both kinds. The chickens are revolting! Is that what you were going to say?
No.
No, it wasn't.
I was going to say also it's just an insult.
Oh.
The mutants are revolting.
Yes.
It's just
That's the original joke is the peasants are revolting.
It's my favourite joke from Chicken Run. When Mr. Tweety is being swarmed by all the chickens, and he goes, "The chickens are revolting," and Mrs. Tweety goes, "Finally, something we agree on." Yes. And she's thinking he means gross revolting. It's very funny.
Oh, play on words. Play on words.
It's an amusing paranomasia. Yes.
So yes, as Phil stated, or whoever stated it first, we're doing season 6, episode 12. The mutants are revolting. You're very pleased with yourself.
Yeah, I used the word paranomasia in a sentence, so I was pretty happy.
Yeah, that's our word of the day.
And what does it mean?
It's just a fancy word for a pun.
Okay.
Paranom, across names, paranomasia.
And that's been Words
Look,
with Phil.
Don't explain it. It's fine.
Sorry.
The director for the episode is, I looked up how to say his name this time. It's Raymond Musquiz.
Musquiz. Who's closest? None of us.
Right in, tell us. I think I said
I'm fairly sure I said Muskies.
Back from
the duh. Yeah. Come on, Phil.
Duh.
Which is a fun, silly episode.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, I think we voted for it.
We did. Did it win? It did.
I think it was you and I, Sean.
Yes.
And then I think you were opposed, Phil.
You're opposed.
And then the late Philip J. Fry won over the top of it, right?
Yes, that is the current winner, yes. I was trying to think about this.
It is.
Yeah, it is still. So, yes, and Mr. Raimi Musquiz. I'm doubting myself now.
Just go with it.
He was the animation director most recently, or one of the most recent things he did was Hey Arnold brought back a movie.
What? When?
Jungle movie last year. No, 2 years ago, 2017.
What?
Yeah, they go to the jungle, shockingly.
Hey Arnold in 2017.
Mm-hmm. Which serves as either an ending to the series or a potential revival of the series.
Well, I think that potential is spent by now.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has.
2 years ago and it's not come back.
There's a really adorable YouTube video that has Raymond and the creator of Hey Arnold, and I do forget his name. They do almost like an unboxing video, but it's them just discovering old concept art from the Jungle movie. And they're opening going,
Aw.
oh, this is when we were doing this. And Raymond's got this adorable smile. He's just
Aw.
like
That's
this.
really nice.
Yeah.
Also, I remember Hey Arnold as being just like a quality show. Like
I've watched a bit of it, yeah.
I don't remember it too much, but I remember specific episodes that stood out. Like
I remember there was
really
an
quality one.
angry girl who just secretly
Helga.
loved.
With
Yeah.
the
Helga.
pigtails.
Yeah.
The blonde pigtails.
Yeah.
And
And
then
I
She
remember-
secretly loved Arnold and
Yeah,
had a
she
shrine
loves
to him.
and I
Yeah.
remember like there's a great episode about her, because she always feels like, you know, she feels like the forgotten younger sibling to her older, cooler sister, who's, you know, the parents like lavish their attention on her, but then you find out like the older sister is also suffering in her own way. Like they're all fucked up, and it's very cool, very
I'm just messing with your time lapse.
memorable. Memorable episode.
Sure.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this isn't the Hey Arnold podcast.
Oh,
What?
little do you
Oh
know.
shit! I have to go. Oh my god, I'm so late.
This is Hey Podcast.
Hey podcast. Can you tell us more about the crew
The
of this
What would you
episode?
like to know next? Who would you like to
the
know?
writer?
Were you
or the...
reading my book for that?
No, it's just what we always do.
No, you took a squeeze at my
I
book.
did have a little look.
Yeah, the writer for this episode is Guess. Can you remember any writers?
No. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Crystal. She's a director.
No,
She's a
she is.
director.
Eric Horsted.
Gore. Laura Gore.
No, I just told you.
She's a writer, I remember.
Yes. No. Okay. Right. No.
Lauren Gore. Whichever Gore.
Kristen
writes.
Gore.
Kristen Gore.
Kristen Gore.
Yes.
Kristen Gore. She's
That's a
writer.
cool last name.
Pays to have the book.
Well, she is the daughter of Al Gore.
Yeah.
So yeah, Eric Horsted's back from the lethal inspection,
Mhm.
and Eric Horsted's little tidbit is he doesn't get one because he does too many fucking episodes.
So we just run out of facts.
Well, I'm sure. Yeah,
Be more interesting.
I've said it before. I think I said it the first time, which is he's done the most episodes.
Right, yeah.
He wrote the most episodes. He needs to
Okay.
stop. He did stop.
Oh.
Yes,
I mean-
the whole thing stopped.
He's out of a job. No,
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know. Maybe. Air date for this episode is Chris isn't here to tell us, but it is September the 2nd, 2010. And introducing Devo. Yes,
Don't doubt yourself, man. You got this.
Devo.
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 Yeah, it's Mark Mothers. I want to say his last name, Mark Mothersbaugh, who is the actual singer. That's his voice.
You
So
can
the guy
use-
that voices.
You can use the joke from the episode to remember the name, like because it's Devolution.
Yeah.
So they're Devo.
Right,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Play
so
Whip It.
the lead singer actually no.
That's for you. That's for you kids at home.
Yeah.
This
the
is
funny, the
words
iconic
with
funny
them.
hats that
Yeah.
they have.
Yeah, but
or-
they got him in to actually.
I
do
thought
the
that
voice.
must
Yeah,
have been
it sounded
him.
like that.
Yeah.
And also the Dowager. What's her name? Anyone remember?
Oh God.
Aster.
Mrs. Aster,
Lady Aster.
Yeah.
Lady Aster.
So, she-
And her butler.
so they don't pop back up again, but the person who will pop back up again is the younger royalty member who tells a joke to Calculon. She says, what did she say?
And my uncle saw a rat once.
Yes. She's called. She has a name.
Does she?
The Queen of Yonkers.
Queen of Yonkers.
There you go.
She appears like 8 more times.
Wow, nice.
She's the first recurring character of the new season.
Yonkers is an actual place, no?
yeah, in New York.
In- yeah.
Yeah.
I just remember it from World War Z because there's like the Battle of Yonkers is like one of the big zombie ones that like
Yeah.
was a big fucking mess, and they were like, oh yeah, zombies don't respond to scare tactics
Yeah, no.
because they're dead.
No.
Whoops.
Your face is missing.
Forget
This
about it.
also brings back like a million characters because it's like
There's a big
A big
party.
mutant, yeah. It's a lot of the old mutants back.
yeah,
for starters.
because it's the 100th episodes. They bring
Yeah.
back tons of mutants, and then at Bender's party, there's like pretty much every
Everyone.
robot.
I
There's, like, the
recognize
giant-
the pizza ones.
The
Who are they?
capitalist robot from the movie where Bender joins the secret society. He's in the background with his little monocle.
Yeah, there's
Oh, of
those
course.
New York Italian bugs, whatever they are.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
forgot they have a
Oh.
yeah
For-
the racism episode.
They're playing baseball, Blurnsball.
Blurnsball.
Yeah,
that's what
those
it's called.
ones.
There's that floating robot that looks a lot like Eve from.
The
That Pixar one with the robots. Wall-E.
Wall-E. Yeah.
Eva. What's the floating robot's name in that?
Eva.
X1.
Eva.
The 1X?
Yeah.
The 1X
The
robot?
1X. The 1X robot's in
Man,
there.
I hope we never do like a quiz
On Futurama.
On Futurama, 'cause we
we
will
would
fail.
suck so
Yeah.
hard.
Between us, we got there. The
Yeah.
1X robots there. There's tons of robots.
Yeah.
There's one thing I
and
can-
guests.
I can quiz you on.
What?
Can you run down the plot?
I can in my new simplified format.
Yes.
Do
it. This is an issue episode, and it's sort of about apartheid and segregation,
Whoops.
essentially.
Yeah.
It's about the mutants in the sewer finally rising up and demanding that they be allowed to live on the surface
I mean,
and
it's
not be
also
treated as
a-
second-class citizens.
It's also a Moses story. Like there's a,
Sort of,
there's
yeah.
There's a pretty
Yeah.
clear Moses parallel.
let my people stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a Bender's sad story as well.
Yeah, that's very B plot.
Yeah.
Sort of C plot.
Very
almost.
relevant
Yeah.
to the Bender plot.
To
B
the
plot.
to the B.
Bender
The
plot.
Be- oh, right.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Bender B.
Oh.
Yeah.
Bender B plot.
Yay!
Hey guys, what's on your
don't
mind?
celebrate that one.
what
I
do
had
we
this,
think?
This is a lot of fun.
Yeah, you like this?
I had
Like this
a lot
one?
of chuckles.
Did
I
you?
had the chuckle bug bit me.
Oh.
You should get that looked at. This doesn't sound good.
Oh.
You've got chuckle parasites.
Just start
God.
laughing all day.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's good.
I think, yeah, I mean,
really is probably
Yeah,
next
next
I-
time.
there were a few. There was one gag I definitely had to look up. That's the Michael Collins mix.
Yeah, is he like an alcoholic or something?
No, okay, so a Collins is a drink.
Yes,
A
so,
Tom
yeah.
Collins.
Tom Collins,
So that's gin, lemon, sugar.
And just having the
fizzy
mix in
water.
a bottle's pretty standard.
Yeah,
Tom
you
Collins
get
mix,
that.
Yeah.
So Michael Collins is an astronaut. They really didn't.
Oh, of course he is.
There wasn't a lot
okay.
of footwork there,
Yeah.
basically, is what I'm saying. There were some really good protest signs. My favorite one is Free Equal Rights. That's
yep.
awesome. Got to use that. I don't.
There are some really good one-liners, like Zoidberg popping up and going, "Hooray! A happy ending for the rich people!"
I also
which is just hilarious.
I love him using his little. What do we call these dangly face things?
tentacles.
Tentacles?
Are they?
Wait,
Face tentacles.
Wait, the mandibles?
It's like
Like,
his.
they're
it's
not really
They're not
mandibles.
mandibles. It's
No.
almost like what a baleen whale has, like to sort the krill
It's
from the
more
fish.
like a sieve.
Yeah, that's what the whales do with their krill.
Yeah, but they look like a giant sieve, not like tentacles.
Oh yeah.
I
Face
guess
tentacles.
these are the ones that are just little tiny little face tentacle things.
That's what I think.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I love him using that to shield himself from the exploding
Souffle.
So
Yeah,
he
they
just
go
flips it. He flips it up onto his own face, which is great. There's some really gorgeous animation in there. This is the one thing I really liked this episode visually. Like I just thought
The
things.
floods of sewage and
Well, when
Bender
you say it
staying
like
still.
that, but like Bender being gyroscopically
Yeah.
stable.
stabilized, which
So-
is a
a good
Bender
use of your
function.
Yeah.
Blu-ray as well.
So as
Yeah.
as the ship's moving around, they're going through an asteroid field, and he is kind of just staying on his own kind of
Axis.
Yeah. That's just really nice, like 3D animation happening there. There's a lot of detail into like what angle everyone is at. And the asteroid field itself.
There's
some...
the land ship Titanic. It's pretty
First
cool.
land ship.
Everyone
Yeah,
laughs.
first and onlyest.
Everyone laughed so hard at the land Titanic just sinking into this.
just into the ground. It hits a mailbox
Yeah.
and just sinks into the ground.
because he land drowns.
It doesn't.
Yes.
It doesn't even like hit the mailbox. Like, because I'm assuming the Titanic hit the iceberg kind of almost straight on.
Oh,
I
no,
don't-
it's not so actually.
Isn't
So
it?
what happens is the
it
reason
like-
the Titanic sank because they thought it was unsinkable because it had many compartments.
Aha.
That were separated from each other, but what happened is they scraped all the way down the side, and basically the iceberg tore a long hole all down the side of the Titanic
Right.
rather than hitting
Yeah.
it head on. If
Because
it hit
they
it
tried-
head on,
because
it would have
they
been
tried to-
fine.
because they tried to avoid
They tried
it.
to avoid it, and it scraped down the side and filled lots of the compartments, and then sank.
So
the
would
ship.
it have been better if they just barged straight into it? Do you reckon?
The Titanic? Yes,
Yeah,
probably
100%.
yes.
Holy shit.
Depending how fast they were going. I mean, I'm not a
Yeah.
ship expert, but
You should
Aren't
be.
you?
a naval engineer.
You're
I
a
should
captain,
say.
Phil.
I am a captain, but not of a ship.
There was a lot of like very interesting world building as well. Maybe not world building per se, but we're moving between a lot of very visually interesting places. So we have the Titanic set piece. We have the very familiar underground with the mutants. And
the sunken Titanic set piece, sort of set piece as well. Yeah.
We get introduced to the luxury of Lady Astor.
Yes, her mansion.
yes.
Yes.
Oh, I loved the gag. It was so dumb, but of Bender taking a running start across the rickety bridge that led to her.
That made Sean really angry when
Did
he backs like
all
across
the way
across the bridge
and
then
goes
runs
forward
forward
all the
across
way.
it all the way around.
all the way. Yeah, but
And Fry's just like, yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, and everyone else just shows up. It's great.
yeah, I loved that gag, and also I just loved the visual of it. It was very Le Petit Point with the planet,
The tiny planet that you can run all the way around in
you
2
can
seconds.
see all the way around. It stands out. It doesn't have like a black outline. It has kind of like a light blue, so it gives it kind of like a glow. This is nice. It's just very visually stimulating episode. I was having a ball.
This is also an episode that it's the first time in a long time when they've had any what's going to be long-lasting change going forward. Like, from henceforward, you are going to have mutants up and around as part of the palette of the show.
Do we reckon that's going to be like, they could actually use that?
That's what I've heard. It's like the first time in a long time that that's what makes it kind of important. Because the idea is that what they didn't realize is that, so this episode actually becomes the mid-season hiatus. The mid-season break for the show. And they didn't realize until they got the schedule that, that so happens to be our 100th episode. Okay, cool. Let's make it about something that's steeped in the show's history, maybe.
Yeah.
Leela, mutant backstory. And that's why they tried to put it in that direction. They wanted something that would have a bit of change involved in it.
Yeah, it would actually change the fabric of the show somewhat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, there's a couple of good reasons for doing that. One is that it's always felt a bit weird that
the mutants
they allow like a really blatant segregation in the society, and it's just fine, and like it's okay because mutants are gross, and it's just like the fact that they address that in the show and we go, okay, this is not acceptable, and it's the end of that is nice.
It does also add some stakes for like the more we learn about the segregation between the mutants and people up above.
Yeah,
like. It really kind of retroactively makes God, I can't even remember which episode it is where we find out about Leela's parents.
That's the first episode of season 2.
Yeah, but like them wanting to sacrifice so much to like give her a better life. It just makes like when I see them kind of trying to comfort her about being down there. I'm like, oh man, like they really wanted the best for her, and they're just trying their best as parents. And I honestly think like the Tarangas, like they're just awesome. Like it's
lovely family.
It's nice representation. Although I love that the mum is like still not impressed, even though she lives in the sewers. When like Leela shows them her workplace,
what is the line she said?
She's
was
like,
there a fire?
Was there a fire here? And I'm like, that's a classic mum. Like never fucking happy.
You mentioned Taronga. There's just a little. I thought it was funny when they're talking to Poopenmeyer. They're like Taronga Leela. He's like, you mean Leela?
Yeah. He's just like, no one gives a crap about
Taronga, Leela.
Because like I can't even remember the parents' names really. Because Leela is the last name.
Is one
Morris.
Marty?
Marty.
I
Yeah,
feel
I
like
think
it's
so.
Marty.
There's a Morris.
Oh, it's Morris. I just
And-
knew it's a dad name.
Yeah, Morris is a dad, and the mum, for the life of me, I can't remember. Musquiz.
Marlene.
Marlene.
No, I just made that up.
Devo.
There's also like if you don't want to take it directly down a segregation route, which the show kind of does on its own. There's also kind of a bit of an income inequality thing,
Yeah.
where these guys work the sewers and they do manual jobs, and we have a foundation to educate them, but it's really just a tax write-off for the rich people,
Yeah.
and it's more about keeping them in shitty jobs and out of the way,
Yeah.
than it is about actually enabling them to kind of grow out of their lot, because that's not allowed because they're gross and
Which
weird.
is a very well made point. Like, it's,
Yeah.
I think Futurama kind of veers away from being a bit too political, but like they nailed, like they
It's something
hit the nail on the head.
It's
with
something
that one.
particularly American that we don't have as much of here, I would say, is the bootstrap mentality. It's the American dream, right?
Pull
It's the
yourself
ability to work your way out of poverty and
You work
become-
hard,
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's more on the nose not on the nose, but it's more
apparent.
Obvious. It's more of an issue for them when they address things like that.
Yeah.
There's also the like with the Moses story. That's a class hierarchy as well. You know,
I feel like they kind of glance at that. It's not really a major touchstone. He
No,
does the
well-
parting of the sea and gives a funny line, but it's not
Well,
like
it
he
also-
doesn't become like their sacred leader, like petitioning them over
No,
and
he
over
doesn't
again,
become their
bring
sacred, but he
plagues or
does
anything.
like go from being a surface dweller, you know, a higher class, and then having he doesn't realize that he was a mutant all along, obviously, but like in becoming a mutant, they're like, now you can kind of, you know, be our figurehead, you can be our leader.
because he's the grossest one.
Yeah. So he has to be up front.
That's how religion works, right? I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
Was it like Viola is the second grossest?
Yeah, she's not happy about
She's
that.
right
yeah.
to say, hey.
Yeah.
I know, I agree.
Look,
She's not.
I
she's
don't
like,
want to rate the mutants on their looks,
but she's not.
My favorite
No.
is Thumb Guy. That guy's awesome.
Yes, that's such
Where
a
you're
good
like,
gag.
he's just like a normal looking guy, and then he extends his
Thumbs
giant
up.
thumb, and it's got another face on it.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
He's
it's
got two little kind of. He's got like one little baby fang.
Does he?
Yeah.
Aww.
That's alright,
I'm
that's
happy to
cute.
see foot back. Just the foot with the baseball cap.
good.
on it.
Yes, yeah. He's a leg, isn't he?
Yeah,
He's like a whole leg,
He's
yeah.
he's a full
Yeah,
leg.
he's like-
a whole leg.
Go, don't
Don't
sell him
march
short.
on- Yeah, don't sell him short.
Sell him
Hey.
short.
Zing.
Oh, you
it's
told
a, it's
him.
a
You got
shame
him.
that we're not talking about him having an argument or something, because then he wouldn't have a leg to stand on. Oh, someone
Ew.
edit that in to make it a coherent joke, please.
I feel like the gem thing they don't do a lot with. It feels like when they find it that it's going to be a really major plot point, right?
And it's not.
And it's not. They find
No.
a gem, it can like zap things.
It's
it's
just
a
zaps
quantum
things for the reason.
It's a-
for
yeah.
reasons.
It's a quantum gem of some kind, and it
but
can zap things.
It doesn't mean anything to the Dowager because she has bajillions. Like she has,
She has
a
a chandelier
chandelier
made of
Made
them.
out of it.
Yeah.
And he uses it to like part the giant like tsunami of sewage that's going to land on them all.
Yeah.
But it doesn't.
It
It's
feels
just
like
sort of
it's
like
gonna-
a
it feels
Deus
like
Ex
it's going to be a
Machina.
bigger
Is
thing.
there-
Yeah, it really does.
Is there a
yeah.
joke here with the because the funding institution for the scholarship, right? That's MC Guffin, a MacGuffin.
MacGuffin, yeah.
MacGuffin, yeah.
So
MacGuffin,
is
yeah.
there like a little? Did they do that intentionally, being like,
I think-
we've put
I
a
think you've
MacGuffin
just-
in
I th-
here, or
I think you've actually pulled that name from the episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine we watched before we watched Futurama.
oh no, oh no, I did.
We're crossing into new territory.
So-
By the way, listeners,
I'm so sorry.
Ellen's actually prepping at the moment for
I'm
a Brooklyn
prepping
Nine-Nine
for-
quiz show that she'll be doing tomorrow.
I'm prepping for trivia night. We've come second 2 weeks in a row, and
Is it
I'm
always
not-
about Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
A
Yeah,
season
it's
each.
it's a season every
wow.
week, and we're up to season 3 now. And my team, the Diane Weist Infections, we're gunning for that first place because we've come second twice.
Well, don't mix
I'm
Futurama
sorry,
facts
I'm
into it.
sorry.
Because it
Oh,
might go the
no.
other way if they bleed into each other.
yeah, I know. I'm going to be giving so much Futurama trivia tomorrow night.
How embarrassing.
Oh, Jesus.
No, I think
The bands.
I think the gem is actually a nod to the movie Titanic.
with
With the heart of the ocean,
yeah.
heart of the ocean.
I think you're right,
which
sir.
is in a safe
Which
in the
also
Titanic.
means nothing to the plot of the Titanic.
No, not really. No. It's just the thing that reminds her that-
Also, I'm-
of having sex with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Couldn't she just have the memories of having sex?
No.
No, you need a
Fancy
touchstone.
jewel.
All right.
Oh, literally. Yeah, and then she gets symbolically throw it in the ocean. But come on, guys, this isn't the fucking Titanic podcast.
This episode was also
Dang.
done in tribute to Alex Johns, who I've never talked about before. Apologies. Never talked about before. He was a co-producer of Futurama, and he produced 70 episodes, and
Wow.
apparently he died at 43
Oh, no.
a month before this episode aired.
Oh, wow.
That's really sad.
Through some long illness, apparently.
Yeah.
But he's just one of those kind of existing producers that worked with Matt Groening quite extensively over the years.
So this episode is a tribute to him?
Yeah,
or
at
it
the
just
very
has...
at the very end, at the end of the credits, it says in memory of Alex Johns.
Okay.
Oh, that's nice.
And
Yeah.
I quickly looked it up. And
Yeah. Man, that's rough when you have because the Futurama team has been around for a long time,
Yeah.
and when you've worked on that many episodes together, you are a part of a family. So, I mean,
You've
I
still
don't
got
think
a lot of the same
I don't think
people.
the episode has anything to do with him. It's more just
No.
probably they, wanted
No.
to attach the
And you've still
in
got a lot of
memoriam.
the same like writers and directors that have crossed over. Like we're still going to get a lot of new ones, but it's a lot of the same creative
Yeah,
team.
even after such a gap.
It's still rough draft animations. It's still Matt and
Yeah.
David and
If I can go back to the episode
yes, sir.
Do
at
it.
hand, there are a couple of negatives for me.
Mm-hmm.
I do think, as fun as it is to have Bender have a big party, like it doesn't really serve any purpose, and so it makes the episode feel a bit unstructured with that going on. Like,
Yeah.
he's just like he just gets lonely because his friends aren't there, and then they come and get him later. It doesn't actually go anywhere. It feels like more of an excuse to shoehorn in characters.
Yeah.
So it's not very satisfying
It
to
doesn't
me.
really blend into the A plot
It's-
properly either.
Not
It's-
really, no.
I found it hard to juggle like the class thing, then the Titanic thing. I know the Titanic thing comes like full circle,
Yeah.
but it me seems like a bit of a weird thing to stitch together until you have like the payoff, and then you
Yes.
also have the party.
The payoff obviously being Asta was down there all along, and the way they get him to change his mind is get the Dowager to change her mind is that Asta was a
Yeah.
nice
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, and I think it's just more like I thought that maybe there was too much Titanic in there.
Which is weird,
Visiting
this
the
is
Titanic
second,
and
this is
looking at
the
it.
second episode that's been Titanic heavy as well. A Flight to Remember was
Don't
All
say
about the Titanic.
the movie.
Yeah.
Titanic heavy. That's a
Yeah.
terrible pun.
So
Oh.
heavy it sank.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
There's also like
Oh.
there's also like right at the beginning they pay a lip service to the idea that Bender loves
He loves
the
What's-
chef. Fuck, Elsa.
Oh, Elsa.
Elsa.
Loves Elsa, and he just does this thing where he goes, "Oh, it's Elsa, I love you, and you're like, "It's not funny. It's not really a joke."
Yeah,
It's
I was
just that- it's
sure
just
that
that
was
he-
going to be a payoff, like because he's yelling, "I love you," and the souffle is right
there, the explosive souffle, but it doesn't really do anything.
It felt like them just reminding you of the continuity of it.
Yeah.
We remember that Bender loves Elsa.
Yeah,
Remember that, right?
but and Elsa leaves the episode forever,
yes.
so it doesn't matter
No.
at all.
The souffle doesn't really matter as well in the grand
No,
scheme.
it just is
Apart-
used to
Gets them
kill
into
a
the-
Yeah.
1,000 Dalmatians.
Yeah. By the way, Sean's
101.
new segment,
Probably.
Death Count.
Yes.
Oh,
Probably-
101
probably 101.
Dalmatians.
101
A
Dalmatians.
few mutants once
and
they drop.
quite a lot of mutants,
Yeah.
all through the same method, just explosions.
Yes, and
By souffles.
Yes, souffle death.
also all the people who were on the Titanic when it went down,
Oh,
whose
yeah.
skeletons are in
Yes.
the beds.
And Mr.
Oh.
Hemi Moore, was it Hemi Moore Captain?
Had me
Yeah.
more of that cruise director.
Yeah, he's dead too.
Yeah, he uses his head to smash a safe open. Yeah.
God damn.
They're also like this is a positive, not a negative. But when they first come down to the sewers because they get done for harboring a mutant, which okay, backing up again.
Yes, yes.
I do like the way they incriminate themselves. It's great. They're like,
Right.
we've had her for ages, and they're like, well,
You've
been
had her for ages, and we're
What?
like,
What?
Yes, I have.
"Ah,
Oh shit!
shit."
It's really great in that scene.
I
and
also,
the scene before that too.
yeah, I was
Yes,
going to say
yes.
Hermes is great because it's like, how many times have you had that person being like, "Oh man, this sucks"? It's like, yeah,
It's
your
you
fault.
you fucked up, and
We
Hermes,
should do something. Yeah, you should.
yeah, you
right?
should.
I don't care what you say, Hermes.
Yeah,
God
Hermes
damn
is
it.
brilliant.
But it has to be my favorite bit because it's Zoidberg. And he just, they all fall into the sewers.
umbrella.
And he floats down in an umbrella Mary Poppins style and just says, $3
At the drugstore.
It's great.
I love
It's fantastic.
so much of
Zoidberg
that.
has my favorite line, which you mentioned earlier, which is, "Hooray! A happy ending for the rich people."
I love the line, "Let me pour you something that looks like lemonade."
Yes, have
And
more
then,
of what
and then
this-
the pouring like lasts
got
for,
toilet clams.
I swear to God, for 5 seconds they just pour that glass and it's like, what is it? What is it?
She just looks at it. Like,
It's a perfect side dish to toilet clams.
toilet clams, yeah.
What does that mean?
Oh, a Brown University, obviously,
Yeah.
is a
I
terrible,
loved the-
terrible pun.
I
It
loved
means
the
poo.
Yes.
I
It's not
love-
even a pun because there is a Brown University. I don't know.
means
I
maybe
loved
it's a pun.
the toilet lid laptop. It's like a toilet seat.
Yes, yeah.
That was
I just
great.
love the creativity in the mutant
Setting.
verse. Yeah, setting basically.
The
like just-
Sewerverse.
It's the Sewerverse. Oh, that'd be a movie franchise, wouldn't it?
I love
No.
is it
The
is
Toxic
it
Avenger.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I love Morris being like an ultimate lame dad and like distracting those workers by introducing his daughter. He does that so often whenever Leela's around. He's always like an embarrassing dad, and it always fucks up everyone around him.
Yes, yeah.
It reminds me of an early episode. Dad, you drink? He's like talking about, he makes jokes about her. No, that's right. He says, no more food until you finish your tequila.
Yes.
It's like, Dad, you drink? He's such a dad.
There's some sort of joke about the West Parkway or something.
West Park.
The sewer, like, hub
in the
that
No? Okay, nah.
There is a Madison Cube Garden, which they fill with sewage, but there's the thing that they bend to send all the sewage back up to the surface is called, like, the West Mid Parkway or something.
I don't
feel
think
like
we know enough about New York geography.
Yeah, I think it's a New York specific joke.
If you're from New York, tell us.
Tell us what the hell that joke is about and whether it's
Maybe
funny
you
or not.
thought it was funny.
Is the orgy pit scraped and buttered? Sorry to interrupt you, but I had to say that.
That was on my notes as well. We all spotted the anchovies.
Yes. Yeah,
there's
a little
can of
anchovies.
angry Norwegian anchovies by the Titanic. So
throwback all the way to season 1.
Yeah, there weren't enough riches abound on the Titanic.
Yeah, they just walked past
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Because that was the only anchovies left.
No, yeah.
in the law, right? And then there's just another can just sitting there.
The sewage is appropriately disgusting. Like every frame of it looks
gross,
thick and
bubbly,
viscous
and
gooey.
I mean,
all different shades of brown.
Mutant Fry is pretty gross.
Very Cronenberg.
Yeah.
Very...
And this, like, even just the sound effects when you come into contact with Mutant Fry.
Well, the thing
makes
is,
everyone barf.
Well, the thing is, because it looks like he's constantly dripping, but his own flair.
He's
still
constantly
quite
moving,
cute, though. I think.
You reckon?
In a cartoon way.
Oh yeah, would you
Like
give him a smooch?
Maybe not a smooch.
What about a hug?
I'll give him a hug.
Yeah.
Yeah, he seems fine.
I
Or
do
just
love
text
how
him.
the Dowager like just flings herself into
Asta.
into the squish of Asta. It's really actually
The mess
sweet.
of Asta.
We have I love. Is it Sal? Is he the angry New York man?
Yeah, that has 100 jobs.
When he's wading through all the sewage. First of all, I almost screamed because there's a woman walking through
With
the
a kid?
sewage, holding her child by
Who's,
the
like,
hand,
nose
who's
deep in
at, at nose height.
that child is
What?
drowning.
Pick up your
Drowning.
child for God's sake.
What does he say?
Sal goes, this was a bad day to wear my new Crocs.
These is Croxes.
I know these
Croxes.
Crocs. Sorry, yeah, I forgot to pluralize that.
The amount of zzz, Sal says, just gets bigger and bigger.
I really like Fry's misunderstanding of how charity balls work. Then when Lady Asta invites the Farnsworth to her ball because they're an old New York family, she goes, only the best families will be there. He goes, we can take them.
Oh, yes! That's like the Adam Hills joke when he was asked to be the godfather of his friend's child, and he's like, oh, sweet, who do I have to kill? Oh, wait.
Not that kind of godfather.
Fish and chimps.
Yes, I got
Yes.
that too.
Good gag. There's a weird bird animation. Did anyone spot this?
Oh, there's a bird?
It's literally the first scene of animation after the credits. And so it's just from the Planet Express building. And this bird flies away into the distance. I think there's a big noise. And it looks like
Isn't the noise the fact that there are klaxons on the top of the Planet Express
I think so.
building? Did you not notice that?
No.
The good news, everyone, comes is projected out of the building through 4 klaxons sitting on top of the tower.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
For
That's
no
great.
reason. He just goes, good news, everyone! And all these birds fly away.
No, I noticed that, but
It's very
it was one bird, and it was like animated like a raven, and just like not well. Like it just looked really. It looked like a sore. Like
I'll have to go back and watch
I thought
that.
you meant it was sick.
it bird
was
stood
not
out
well.
like a
You
sore
sure it wasn't
thumb.
an owl?
It was a weird looking bird, whatever it was, and like it just only its wings moved. I don't know, and its legs just kind of dangled there. It was fucking weird. Before we wrap up, should I do just quick fashion corner?
Yeah, there's some fashion
Okay,
corner
I
stuff.
love Leela's gown in this one. It's
You
like
audibly gasped.
It's like a two-tone. Yeah, I got. I,
Got a little excited.
I shan't quote Brooklyn Nine-Nine again, but like, so it's this two-toned red maroon kind of number. It's got a belly cut out, but only on one side of the dress, so it kind of like has a little U from the side, and it's got kind of 3 protruding, not quite rings, but
it's ruffs.
It's like a long ruffs on. It's like a one shoulder dress. It just looks very elegant, and
she's got matching ones on her gloves, right?
Yeah, exactly, like the same kind of ridges, and she's got a cool like 4-tiered bun going on. It's very stylish. I just love this look.
But she still wears her like combat boots.
Her evening boots.
Her evening boots.
Her evening boots.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
She does wear heels sometimes, doesn't she? She's not always.
Yeah,
in
has
heels.
been known
she
to,
has
yeah.
heels.
Yeah.
She decides not to buy.
They're just probably hard to find in her size.
True.
Yeah.
A gigantic feet.
Gigantor.
And the Dowager obviously has got like this lovely deep indigo kind of
Quite conservative though.
pantsuit with a purple fur. It's nice.
She's always clutching at that fur, isn't she?
Yeah. Well, you know, old ladies and their fur. I think that's probably it. Like, there's a lot of really cool outfits, but I didn't have time to note them all. It was just
there's
like
a lot of stuff happening.
Yeah, it was just a sea of kind of fancy outfits at the charity ball, and then a lot of really inventive stuff with the mutants as well, like at Brown
Can we
University.
also segue into quickly Bender's functions?
Well, yeah, we mentioned earlier. So he is he's gyroscopically stabilized,
Yes, sir.
which is a plot point at the beginning of the episode, which they do some fun animation stuff with. He retracts all his bits, which is a thing I'm sure we've seen him do
We
before.
have seen.
Various.
Am I missing something?
I felt like you were, but maybe I'm just hoping for more out
He
of
didn't
this
do
segment.
anything
He has
during the party, did
He has
he?
some funky 100 glasses.
Yeah, that's
Not
true.
really
That's a function.
That's
Might
more
be
an
a part of himself.
accessory.
he does a cool thing when he goes to dance with Amy, where his arm does this like angular.
It's a screensaver thing.
Yeah, the old pipe screensaver.
Yes,
Yeah.
where
And then
it
like
goes up at
everyone
angles.
starts doing the bender.
I
where they
loved
bend in
that.
half.
Yeah.
Kinda
Homie
fun.
just keeps going into a limbo position and then back up.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
That's his move. It's great.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
The bender.
The bender.
We should all do it.
Do the bender.
Stretch first.
Then
Okay, so
Okay.
it's time to
What?
decide how this
What do we
episode
think?
stacks up. No, we've done that. That's
Yeah.
right at the beginning. The whole of what we've been talking about is that section.
is what we think.
Ooh, what do we vote?
What are we voting?
How does this episode stack up against our previous winner, the late Philip J. Fry?
So I'll just go for the late Philip J. Fry. Really, this for me just felt more like a kind of a middle of the road episode. Like, I thought it was really good. It didn't really stand out to me as this big fantastic episode. It weirdly didn't feel like a 100th episode, as much as they kept going, it's a 100th episode, it's a 100th delivery, I've got 100 glasses,
Everyone's back.
change. I was like, yeah, but something doesn't feel like a mid-season. It just
Doesn't
feels
feel
like
celebratory enough.
No, it just kind of feels kind of really normal. The jokes were great. At first I thought they'd once again forgotten about Fry and Leela's relationship when he's like, do you know I have a crush on her? But then it was just a gag. I'm like, okay, phew, I thought you forgot your own lore again. And the late Philip J. Fry is just, once again, it's just a great rumination on a sci-fi premise, and it's
Cool animation and stuff as well.
cool animation. And yeah, I'm a Philip J. Fry man.
I'm going to agree with you for a lot of the reasons you just said. The thing I will cite is, on top of that, is a little bit of flabby plotting in this episode, with the Titanic not being that well used, and them going to it and finding the gem and sleeping in the bunks, not really meaning anything.
No.
Whereas the core of the plot, the revolution of the mutants, feels a little bit rushed. It's a bit montaged and feels like it's kind of crammed in. Whereas I'd love to see more of their like direct action and what they do to fuck up the surface world. There's lots of creativity they could use there with what the mutants do, but it's all kind of goes past a bit quickly. So a few missed opportunities amongst some great gags and character work means that, like you said, solid episode, but not quite as good as the very emotional late Philip J. Fry.
And I forgot to
no
say...
shockers over here.
Sorry,
no, you jump
I
in.
forgot to say the B plot as well feels a little bit lackluster as well.
Yeah.
The Bender thing just doesn't really have a lot of legs to stand on. It just feels kind of, yeah.
Unlike the mutants, because they got a guy that's all leg. Hi, I finally made that pun work. Not really. No shockers here. Philip J. Fry, like, this one ain't got the heart. You know what I mean?
No.
she Italian?
I think so.
Oh, okay, right, that makes sense.
Oh, is that what
And
you
we're
are?
all about the heart, people. We're all about the feelings. Okay, no, but like seriously, it doesn't have heart. It's got some good gags, and I think we all agree it's solid in areas. Like what it's got is good, but it's just not used effectively. It would be better focusing on one element, like the Titanic or the mutants or Bender having a party. These are all good things, but together you are not like you're spreading yourself too thin. Whereas Philip J. Fry is like really concise. It's very focused and yet still has a lot of scope to do the things within its own plot, just because it allows itself, you know. You're traveling through the universe and time, and the animation is breathtaking, and it's got like such fucking heart. So
And some real great silly moments like the giraffe and
and the
God,
sexy
that's
ladies
right.
and
It's great. Yeah.
Well, if I can go to my world, you can go to yours. I was going to get laid. Yeah. Philip J. Fry just feels like a better, more succinct, streamlined, focused episode.
Yeah,
Sure.
and the movies felt way more of like a celebration than this kind of episode.
Yeah,
Do you know when they
yeah.
really packed a whole punch into like,
Especially that
we're
first
back,
movie.
baby?
Yeah, it felt like
Yeah.
a big event.
That
Yeah.
first movie and also Rebirth at the beginning of the season
Yeah.
also felt quite fun and manic and celebratory as
Yes.
well. So by
Call
unanimous vote, the late Philip J. Fry is still our winner for season
6.
Huzzah!
Season 6.
Aha!
And before we sign off, we will need to do a voice
Yes.
of some kind.
I have an idea for one. It's a character that has been around for quite a while and we haven't done.
Oh.
He always ends
Do
up doing
tell.
the voiceovers for things like Scary Door and talking about the
Is that
mutants.
right?
And
It's
it's the voiceover voice.
But it's
guy.
like
but it's
Zap
Zap's
Brannigan.
voice, the same actor, right? It's
yeah,
so
yeah.
similar to Zap's
Yeah.
voice, but yes,
with a slightly
slightly more, less kind of.
kind of a gruff. Is it
Look,
gruffer?
when you're
It's
a voice
gruffer, it's
actor
got
and they
less
ask you to do
of
like 50
Shatner.
characters a
Ugh.
piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, look, can I just do Zap? No. What if it's Zap with a bit of gravel in his voice?
And
Okay.
a little less Shatner pause. Yeah, that's right. What is the informational video?
It's talking about mutants and they're kind of like, oh, we're doing great stuff for the mutants, but also they're gross.
Right. Yeah, but I can't remember any of the lines.
No.
So, no.
No.
I'm just going
We
to
can't do
say,
that.
Do
can you
whip-
sing Whip It again?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, that's where he says, as a long-time mutant, there's a lot. I would
There's
do
nothing-
anything.
there's
Nothing
nothing
I
we
wouldn't
would
do.
do.
There's
Play
nothing
Whip It.
we wouldn't do.
Play with it.
No.
No. There you go. We did Devo.
Yeah, we did a cop out.
Yeah. It's
Whoops.
a cop-out week.
Oh, I was going to do Dowager.
Dowager?
Oh.
I thought you were doing
Hedonism.
Hedonism bomb.
Farnsworth, did you say?
Is that,
If I remember correctly, you've been in New York for 200 years.
is that a line
And he
she
goes,
says?
and he goes, yes,
Yes,
I have.
been. No, your
Holy
family has been here for 200 years. Like, yes, I have been.
Holy
Yeah.
shit, how did that line pass me by? I feel like I was in a fugue state
Oh,
of this
no.
episode.
You were still
You're thinking
thinking about
about
Brooklyn
Brooklyn
Nine-Nine.
I'm sorry, I came down with a Diane Weist infection. Whoop, there it is.
There it is.
Crossover.
Whip it.
Once is served. Anyway. Anyway, we're not quoting Brooklyn Nine-Nine lines.
We just did.
We're not doing it anymore.
Oh.
Or Hey Arnold.
So please come back next week where we will be reviewing whatever's in Sean's book as the next episode.
That I'm hiding.
He's being a cheeky little imp.
It
and,
is the Futurama. Oh, no, I'll let you read it. There you go. It's right down there on the bottom right.
The next episode is the Futurama Holiday Spectacular.
Ooh, it's
Sounds
like a
great.
holiday version of Tales of Interest. Or
Oh, right.
Anthology of
Okay,
Interest.
cool.
I like
Sweet.
that.
I don't remember. I don't think I've seen this one, so looking forward to it.
I would
still
say
find
I've
it-
definitely not seen this one.
because Chris has seen all the new episodes.
I've only seen some of them. I
Yes.
haven't seen that many.
I've not seen any.
I don't think I'd seen this
Neither
one,
have
so
I.
think I'd seen the late Philip J. Fry before, but not this one. But that's irrelevant
Yeah.
because this is the end of the podcast.
It
Yes.
If you would like to get in touch with us, please email us at babybeardmedia@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you, and we may even write back.
May. It's a possibility.
Sure,
it's a
right,
distinct
right.
possibility. You can also check us out on Instagram if you'd like to see our lovely faces or any kind of fun videos. We've also been leaking a little bit of our own pop culture trivia and opinions up there. Some of them are quite controversial, you might
people
say.
hated me.
Yeah.
What did you say on Instagram?
I said Napoleon Dynamite was shit. Come at me.
And they did.
So you can berate Sean on our Instagram.
Great.
I'll be probably agreeing with you in the comments.
Look, and you're allowed to be wrong. It's a democracy.
What?
And also, if you'd like to help us out, the best way you can do that is to go onto iTunes, go onto your podcast app, rate, review 5 stars. It takes about a minute or 2 out of your time, and it's the best way to help us get to more ears and kind of skyrocket up those charts. Or tell a friend, tell an enemy, tell your mum.
Feed
Physical ears. Like physical ears. Get someone's physical ears and put us in it.
Yeah, and hit the download button with their finger that you've cut off their hand.
Oh my God.
To open their phone.
What?
You get in touch with us on Facebook as well. I run that, and I love to hear from people. A few people do message us on there, and we'd love to interact with you guys. So get in touch and get involved.
Awesome. And
You gotta sign off. You're me. You just gotta say your name.
Someone take the wheel.
Hang on 1 second.
Yeah, you're doing your thing.
I'm the onlyest Phil.
This was a bad day to wear my Crocs as Ellen.
I'm the least popular non-Ellen baby bearder, Sean. I found this out recently.
Quick shout out. Quick shout out to our fan, Diana.
Let me just say, it was such great. So we have a fan called Diana who let Phil know on the Facebook that Ellen aside, Phil is her favourite baby bearder. I'm not even in the conversation.
Not
She
even
might as well have
mentioned.
just written, fuck you, Sean.
And I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked. So,
And she has the same birthday as Ellen.
That's true. We
That's
can celebrate
crazy.
together. Oh my God. Send us a video of you on your birthday, Diana, and we can do like a
feature it.
birthday
We'll do it.
app. Yeah.
and like say, have a little sign that says "fuck you, Sean" and give me the finger. I would adore that.
It's a present for everyone.
Yeah, everyone can enjoy it. Bye.
So until we 3 meet again, bye.
That's our next podcast.
It should be.
The Brooklyn
Holy
Nine-Nine
shit.
podcast.
And I will
Yeah.
make Quizmaster
It's a
Johnny
good show.
eat his
Yeah.
fucking word. I have a
Brooklyn
real
Nine-Nine
thing
podcast.
against Quizmasters, I think. Trivia
I wanted to
masters.
be one.
Oh, so did I.
I think it says something about you.
Okay, bye.
Hey, at least you're not the least popular baby bearder.
Only the founding fucking member.
I will do a Twitter poll on it. Who's your favorite baby? No, who's your least favorite baby bearder? Just to hurt myself.
Yeah, because
Just to hurt me. What's the sexiest Nintendo title?
WarioWare, because of all the wanking motions
What?
you have to do.
What? I'm like the main character of a video game. They're the bland that you can insert yourself into. So they have to be.
Your Link.
That's why you never say
Yeah.
anything.
That's why
That's
his
right.
name's Link. For years, I would just like put my character's name as Nell
Nell.
because it's Ellen backwards. But
Shout
I
out
don't
to
know
Nell.
why I did that. It was
Nell.
like a thing that my brother and I did because his was like Samot, Thomas backwards,
Reverse Ellen.
Naga Ellen.
Never played Ocarina. Never played Windbreaker. Windbreaker?
If you like
Wind
Link,
Waker.
Shows
if you-
what I know.
if you like Windbreakers,
Windbreaker.
Wind Waker.
it's like a jacket.
It's the knockoff version that I bought. Yeah, I'm playing Zolda.
Zolda Windbreaker.
You just keep.
I love it.
You
The
just
myth
keep,
of Zolda. Windbreaker.
You just keep trying on new jackets.